Morning, internets. Yeah, it's still morning. Good enough. Yeah, so I'm just making this quick video to raise awareness that I have just spent 4 days writing an article. There were some big and significant interruptions, but whatever. 4 days writing a 1,500-word article on the subject of the shukō. These awesome little things here. This particular model here is actually a prototype provided to me by Matthew Wright of 9 Directions. He made this himself. This is forged steel, tool strap leather. Fucking beautiful is what it is. Sam liked it too, huh? But yeah, so this lovely tool here is shukō, which is most commonly associated with Togakure-ryu ninjutsu. So I wrote an article because there's a lot of misconceptions around it, what its purpose was, where it came from, who used it, and I wanted to just break that down. I'm not going to go through the whole thing right here and now, but if you really don't feel like reading a short essay on this subject, then I can simply say, although it's commonly associated with Togakure-ryu ninjutsu or taijutsu, or I really don't care what your political stance is on that. This basically evolved from agricultural tools, 2 particular ones in particular. One of them, which is, it's got 2 names, asakagi, or, asakagi, or teikagi, or teikō, which has the same spelling as shukō. And the other one is, and so that's like a hook for hooking and moving bales of hay, koku of rice, straw, so on and so forth. And I personally grew up on a horse farm where we used something very similar, so that's kind of cool. The other tool that became or contributed to the evolution of this is called the aseno, and that's like a 3 to 5 pronged hand rake for breaking up turf and hand plowing gardens and such. And so those 2 tools came together to make the teikō-kagi, which is the sort of version of the shukō where there's claws on the back of the hand. That's for kind of like a pitchfork where you'd scoop up straw and hay and things like that. So it's basically like a hand-strapped pitchfork. Later on in certain regions, we started developing things like this, which although you can use it to climb trees, try it. There's a technique for it, but it's definitely not what it's designed for. It is designed for carrying, let's see if I can get it fit on here, designed for carrying like bales of hay and such under the arm, over the arm, and things like that. And I've experimented with it myself. Sometime I'll take the time to make a video if I ever find myself out on a farm again. I think that'd be kind of a cool little video, and I'll go through the different techniques and such. But yeah, so that's basically the development of the shukō. And then, of course, certain peoples have a tendency of weaponizing farming implements, and in this particular case, it's associated with the ninja of Togakure. And so as such, they developed techniques with it, everything from, of course, climbing trees, which although difficult is doable. I actually broke my other one. I broke one of the claws off of it. Again, this was a prototype. This is something that needed to be pressure tested, and lo and behold, it ended up in my hands to pressure test. The latest designs do compensate for this. So if you do want your own pair, contact Matthew Wright of 9 Directions. He's out of the country right now, but I'm sure he'll be back. And yeah, he can set you up with the pair. But yeah, so the ninja accordingly developed techniques around wearing and using this, but one of the things to understand about it is it's more of an improvised weapon than it is a concealed weapon. It is something that you would use because you had on you, and it was an emergency, not something you'd carry with you as a weapon. For one thing, imagine getting caught with a pair of these and people not knowing it's for agriculture. That clearly looks like a weapon. Like, brutal. Scratch with it. You know, hold a baby with it. No. Yeah, don't do that. And yeah, so in any case, I just did a big honking article on it to clear up some misconceptions, lay out some of the historical framework for it, and even discuss the fighting techniques, so not in depth, because I could give you the full-on kata, and you know what? When it comes down to it, unless you've been shown it, that kata is not going to make a lot of sense. So, so that's that. Check it out. I will leave the link in the description. Cheers.